Hey folks, sitting here in a parking lot waiting for an appointment. So that'd be a great opportunity to talk about one of my favorite subjects in the month of April, and that is helping our kids create good people skills. I think maybe now more than ever, it's important to teach our kids how to have good people skills because number one, most kids don't. They're on technology all the time. They're good at typing, but not talking real time. And secondly, because so many non-homeschoolers are so poor with socialization, it creates yet another opportunity for our kids to shine as homeschoolers. Now, the main thrust of this today is to create a proper perspective for our kids when they're in a new environment or where they're meeting new people for the first time. When I joined ICHE several years ago, it was a whole new paradigm for our kids. They grew up in the same church for 25 years. I was the senior pastor, so everyone knew them. So it was pretty easy for them when they would go into almost any setting because somebody probably knew them already, so they had a contact. But with ICHE, it was a brand new ground for them. And I told them, I said, people will be as friendly to you as you are to them. In other words, if you wait for someone to initiate contact with you, it probably will not happen. You should be initiating the contact with them. I've seen parents say, well, that church wasn't very friendly, or that youth group wasn't very inviting. And what they're basically telling their kids is, it's everybody else's job to take care of you. It's everybody else's job to introduce themselves to you. Really, but why should that be? Now, realize if you're the home church, you should be showing, hospitality and such. But what I'm talking about here is when you're meeting people for the first time, why is it somebody else's responsibility to come to us rather than us taking the responsibility to go to them? And so that's the perspective that I try to teach my kids. Otherwise, they'll be in the victim mentality mode. Nobody came and talked to me. Nobody introduced themselves to me. Well, did you introduce yourself to them? So does that make sense? So that's creating the proper perspective to go into a situation. If you go into that expecting that, you'll be more prepared to carry on. And let me give maybe 4 questions that your kids can ask someone else. So we want to give them the right perspective, but also give them some skills or some tools to be prepared in that setting. Number 1 is, hey, my name is so-and-so, what's your name? I've told my kids, try to mention their names 2 or 3 times because I'll hear a name. If I don't speak it right back, I'll forget it immediately. And I'm sure I'm not the only one there. So try to use their name 2 or 3 times. You can ask their age. Thirdly, you can ask them about their homeschool experience. What's your favorite subject? What do you feel like you're the best at in school? What comes most naturally for you? And of course, there's hobbies. What's your favorite hobbies? And if you can get to that point in a discussion, for most, not all, but for most people, the discussion will kind of carry on a life of its own. And so the point to today is 2 things. Number 1, we want to teach our kids not to be a victim, but to be friendly and initiate conversations with new people. And then number 2, give them these 3 or 4 questions as a small skill set to help them open up that door. It'll give them more confidence and more likelihood to walk through. When that happens, it will open up, again, opportunities. Hope this makes sense. I hope it's a blessing and an encouragement. This is Kirk Smith with ICHE's Take 5.